Let's see what a subframe looks like. Or a 2008 BMW. Woo! It's out! I was pretty happy to finally get it out. Unfortunately, getting to this point wasn't exactly straightforward. The control arms were surprisingly cooperative. A quick pass with the wire brush, a few ugga-duggas with the impact, and both sides were off. At that point, I was feeling pretty good, which I have come to learn on a BMW usually means you're about to get humbled. Looking at that. And this guy here, stripped. Put her on, and Bob's your uncle, because I've had enough. Oh, maybe not. Been at her for about 15 minutes with the hacksaw. After struggling with the hacksaw, it was time to bring in the big guns. Yeah, got it. Next was the axle nut. The rotor just kept spinning, so I improvised with the screwdriver against the caliper. I got the axle nut off. Turns out, screwdriver wasn't as committed to this project as I was. Now, to be fair, not every problem was the car's fault. Right there. That's gotta come out. Last hurdle were the shocks. One side came apart like it was supposed to. The other side, not so much. You know, if this guy was a hockey player, he'd be scoring goals, because he's definitely a dangler. Look at that dangles he's got there. Woo! Unfortunately for me, my dangles weren't helping me get it out. So I gave the vice grips a shot. Nope. So it's time to bring in the grinder. Every successful team needs one. After hours of fighting seized bolts, rust, and a few of my own mistakes, the subframe was finally on the bench. I thought getting the subframe out of the car was gonna be the difficult part. Turns out, all I'd done was move the fight to a more comfortable location. The first side wasn't exactly easy, but with enough heat, persuasion, and a few different tools, it eventually came apart. The second side was a completely different story. First, the impact gun. Then, add a little heat. And when that refused to move, I left it alone and went to work on something else for a while. Every time I got another part off, I'd go back to those last two bolts convinced that they were finally going to come out. Then it finally hit me. Dave, what exactly is the plan here? I had already customized those bolts and figured they had seen enough precision engineering from me. So I finally did what I probably should have done hours earlier. I put down the camera, I grabbed the Sawzall, and I moved on with my day. Once I removed all the control arms, the remaining brake lines, bushings, and sway bar, I finally had a good look at what I was working with. And honestly, still not too shabby. Sure, there was plenty of rust, but at this point, I still thought it was mostly surface rust. I figured I'd clean it up, throw some paint on it, and it'd be ready to go back in the car. Found a hole. Look at it. Look at that sucker.
Oh my god, yeah, that's not good.
Yeah, that's gonna be a weldy job. We can find the sneaky holes like this. Look at that. She was a little bit weak sauce there. So we're gonna have to weld a patch in that. Yes, sir. That was a little bit weak sauce. So we'll be welding that up. So there's another one there. That's the other side. So if you zoom out, gaping hole, and another gaping hole, and then come around the front side. Woo! There's all three of the holes. So that side, which I suspected was significantly worse. But it's getting late. The guy's got to go to work tomorrow. A long shift gave me plenty of time to think. I had a welder, watched a few YouTube videos, and figured how hard could it be? On second glance, this wasn't just some rusty bracket. This thing carries the entire rear suspension. Turns out, having a welder and watching a few YouTube videos doesn't make you a structural welding expert. So I started looking for another subframe. Eventually, I found one.